Welcome to episode number 40, Cousin Donnie,
right.
of the Uncle Jimmy Cousin Donnie show, sponsored by the Beacon Tap. How's my cousin Donnie doing this week?
We're doing really well, man. We're doing fantastic. It's a Monday night show, which is new for some folks, but you got to make it happen. This is show business, right? This is what people ask for.
We have to always, move our show based on the Donnie Rollins schedule. So,
and yours, by the way. I want to put that out there. I'm not the bad guy every week. I will say
that is true.
Thanks.
That is very true.
What's cooking, man? What's going on?
I had a wonderful weekend. Had a great family night on Friday. Out to Bulls game on Saturday. And,
are you sitting courtside?
Yeah, I did. I took a couple clients to the Bulls game, and we had a blast. I mean, it was an absolute blast. Had the privilege of meeting the Herd, Colin Cowherd, so that was pretty cool.
Did you tell him he's going to come on our show or what?
Yeah, we were kind of laughing and joking. I was able to meet him underneath the bleachers. There's like a bar, and we were kind of just chit-chatting, and he had his wife with him, so we were just lucky enough. They were kind of sitting right next to us, and so we got in conversation, and we were talking about all sorts of things, So
did you tell him?
I actually asked his wife, because she's from Chicago, about 16-inch softball, and she knew all about it, which was
really,
she knew. She's like, I played in high school. I know all about 16-inch softball.
So that's your in. There's your in. That's how we get them on the show. Jimmy, did you mention you're both professional in the media?
Yeah,
we're both media professionals.
Yeah.
His audience is a couple people more than ours.
Well, I would think so, but that's okay. He was honestly one of the nicest guys I ever met, which to me, you know what? Like, I watch his show a lot, obviously. I mean, who pretty much doesn't? Yeah,
Colin's awesome.
And at the same time, like, his personality, the way he was absolutely incredible. So it makes him that much better as an individual now when I actually do watch his show than before. And it's kind of cool to actually had a chance to meet him, which was awesome.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So we've got some cool news. Before we jump into our guest today, we want to talk about just a few things. We've got some really cool news that you want to share. A merger, perhaps, going on in the softball world coming around major national time.
Yeah, so I was able today, since we had some big news over the weekend as well from the SSA. Obviously, we'll touch a little bit on that too. But the news I got about an hour ago before this show, Rosmondo confirmed they're 100% coming to major nationals in Joliet, which is going to be an awesome thing from a standpoint of merging the best 12-inch team to come play major nationals on the 16-inch side. Their fights are booked. We're going to be looking for hotels for them tomorrow morning. So, I mean, it is an absolute awesome announcement that's not only going to help promote our game, but give it tremendous exposure across the internet and so on, which is an awesome thing. I think we're going to get more and more 12-inch teams to really consider taking a look at the 16-inch game, which
how awesome is that, Jim? I mean, we didn't just go for a B-level team. We didn't go for a C-level team that wanted to play 16-inch softball. Jimmy, we went for the most winningest. That would be the word. We went for the winningest 12-inch softball team of all time. We went for Resmondo, who's won 11 men's championships in 15 years at the USSSA major level. And we went for the best of the bunch. I mean, that's for people that enjoy 12-inch. That's going to be one heck of an afternoon to watch those guys play 16. I will 100% be out there with those guys and videotaping that game and doing play-by-play for them. That's huge news in the 16-inch softball world. Truly, and it started here.
I mean, I think, to me, we started this show, right, to bring exposure to 16-inch softball. Not only that, but getting somebody like this to perform and come to major nationals is, I think, an accomplishment for our game, right?
Yep.
It is putting, to me, it puts 16-inch softball. I mean, as we always say, like, you know, in our game, we start at the major teams and it kind of dwindles down to A and to B. You know, if you want more commitment in softball, major, A, you know what I'm saying? So the same thing like this, right? I mean, think about the impact this is going to have on what we're doing, right? And not only that, but also, I mean, for every player in 16-inch softball right now, I mean, they get 100,000 views on just simple videos they post. I mean, it's
huge following.
It's huge following, huge exposure. Them being in Joliet, them being there at major nationals, I can't even explain. I can't even explain. I think the magnitude of what this is going to create for us, our players, all the major teams, all the A teams. You know, they have their own media. I mean, they do a lot of cool stuff. Brett was kind of telling me, you know, a lot of the things they do. So I think it's an incredible thing. And, you know, let's face it, I can't wait till major nationals. But the bad thing about major nationals, that means the season's almost over. But
yeah, that's true.
I'm extremely excited right now for major nationals.
Yeah.
And let's hope that the Chicago teams have a great showing and we get full commitment from a lot of our major teams, knowing that they're going to be there.
I agree. That's a stepping stone, right? They're going to show up. They're going to be pumped about coming out here and playing 16-inch softball with a glove. So it's nothing they're unfamiliar with, right? If it was a no glove tournament, it would be probably different. They probably wouldn't do it because they play softball for a living. Most of these guys, they're traveling with the sponsors. I mean, the magnitude of this, like you said, it's huge, Jim. Like when you texted me, I was pumped. You know, I get really excited about this stuff. And obviously we love softball, which is why we're doing this. So it started with having Brett Helmer on our show.
Right.
And it kind of escalated from there, keeping that relationship. And Brett's an awesome guy. And I can't wait to meet him. And I can't wait to meet those guys. I mean, it's going to be really cool for a lot of us to kind of experience these human beings.
Well, I mean, I was talking a little bit with Marky Holstein today after I heard about the news, because Marky obviously was a big 12-inch guy.
Yep.
And he says that their center fielder is like 6'4", 230, 240, runs a 4.6. Like these guys are legit athletes, obviously.
Like us,
all over the
like
world,
you and I.
They play. Yeah, well, obviously they play. You know, they play a sport all over the world. You know what I mean? Like, and I give them credit for 12-inch. I mean, it's not my game. I've played it. To me, it's a little easier. It's a lot easier to hit. And I think some of their guys that are going to be coming to play major nationals, I think are going to be humbled a little bit, though, how hard it is to hit. Okay.
I agree.
Some of the guys are going to probably hit it over the fence, is what Marky said. So, but either way, I just think it's an awesome thing. It brings something new to our game that I think is awesome, right? I mean, you know, now we just got to get their rosters and a lot of the stuff. I reached out to Patty before our show. Once I found out, asked them to get the rosters and stuff like that. He said he had to talk to Gio, and because Gio handles that part. So hopefully we could work out the kinks on what they're going to need. And that being said, I think it'll be. I think it's just an awesome thing. I mean, it really excites me because I know how much you're excited about them. So it's really, really cool.
Yeah, I'm pumped. Really quickly too, I mean, we can touch on this. We got a bunch of messages last night about the SSA press release of what they're going to be doing in the summer.
Yep.
And we talked about it, you and I personally. It's kind of an idea that stemmed from what we talked about on our show. I know we had PJ Rains on the show not too long ago, and we talked about stats and all that stuff, and keeping people close to what they say in terms of having people out there keeping stats. And I think it's a great idea for softball, something that stemmed here. What are your thoughts on that?
I think any change to what we do only helps the game. I mean, there's no reason not to change or try something new. My opinion is that if you're going to make it 4 major tournaments, why not throw the best tournament of them all in there? And I know it's an open roster, but you and I both know that, like, major teams are playing with their major guys. It's not, to me, it's not like, okay, so what if a guy from Menace jumps on and plays with Iron or whatever, as an example, so be it. Like, it's stats for the individual thing. And, most of those teams, I mean, Westchester only runs 24. Most of the tournaments are 24 to 28 teams. So, and there, I get what they told me is about the open roster. Someone mentioned that about Forest Park. It's like, give me a break. Like, what major team picks up other major players from another roster to play Forest Park? It just doesn't really happen unless there's an argument with one of the major guys, or a major player quits a team throughout the year. That's the only time I've ever seen it since I've played the sport in many years.
It's mostly guys getting picked up from A teams to try and join a major team, or a lower level major team that didn't get in. Like, those guys will be added to the roster for those major teams in the tournament anyway, and they'll have stats from other tournaments. So it should come full circle in that we have plenty of statistical backing for these guys, and no matter what team they end up playing for, we enjoy the change for the better, is what I'll say.
Right.
It's pretty cool that we kind of broke ground on the idea and probably had some plans to do on that.
I mean, even if it was PJ Rain's idea or whoever's idea it was, we just brought more attention around it, right? I mean, I think that's the biggest thing is letting people hear, and it all stems from the question of what we ask every guest on the show, right? Yep. What is the one thing you would change in softball improvements? So it's an awesome thing, right? I think it's cool. I mean, hopefully, Gio's pretty anal about the way he does things. So I'm assuming it's going to be done right from that aspect. I don't know, it's what his plans are, but my opinion is, how do you keep Forest Park out of that, right? I mean, that's just, to me, it's
the biggest tournament of the year.
So, we got some good comments out there. First off, I want to say happy birthday to, I believe it's Mickey Ballestri's birthday today.
Big Mick.
Yeah. So happy birthday, Big Mick. I know he's a huge supporter. He likes watching our show. He's always, on top of softball world. So, happy birthday to the old man. I believe he turned 80 today. So, it's an awesome thing. Yeah,
we've got some comments coming in from Big Mick. He said he's watching, so we appreciate that. Armando says that's big for the game. He says that Resmondo coming over, or Roberto Jr. says that's some huge news. Armando, that Resmondo is coming over to play ball with us. Tim Dalton says Tommy Lentine can cut the 12-inch ball too. I know Tommy's played some 12-inch in his day, and Brian Fry with a great comment, having that top 12-inch team in Major 16 Nationals can be the turning point to grow Chicago 16 in softball. That's a great comment from Brian. I mean, and he's absolutely right? That's the exposure that the game needs. We talked about last week with Mike North about how we can get this game on ESPN, because there's things like cornhole and garbage on ESPN for an hour. Why can't we put 16-inch softball now that the game is growing, that the exposure is there? That's the turning point that we need to get on the air, right? That's how we get to grow to a bigger audience. Look at that. Mick Balestri says he was born in 1955, so he's coming up on his 29th birthday. 29th, maybe 30th birthday.
I thought it was 80.
Yeah.
He's 69. He'll be 70 soon. That's fine.
How about Moji says, not that they are ever right, but Forest Park keeps stats. I didn't know that Forest Park
They do.
kept stats, do they?
They do, but to Moji's point, they're never right.
Oh.
I think it's I hear a lot of people complaining about one. You know what I mean? It kind of happens a lot, but
we know that Moji's ERA.
What happened?
Hold on, Jimmy. You're cutting in and out a little bit. You're cutting in and out just a little bit.
Okay. Is that better for you?
I can hear you fine. Your video just kind of cutting out a little bit, but I was going to say Emoji's ERA was low, so maybe the stats weren't right. Who knows?
Yeah.
What the stats are correct or not.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not too sure about that. So,
okay.
Today they used to post stats at the field and things like that. I haven't seen it in years. Maybe they still do that. I don't know. But to Moji's point, they did keep stats. They do have, but I believe my understanding is they're going to be doing this on Game Changer. So to my point, you're going to have everyone in softball there already. So why wouldn't you do I don't know. That's just my opinion, and we all have a right to have our opinion. I'm sure We
might have you jump out really quick and jump back in, Jim. Your video is kind of cutting in and out. I want to make sure we can see you good. Gone. Took the advice pretty quick. I want to, while Jimmy's getting that figured out, last week we had a great segment where you guys gave us your upset of the week in March Madness. And we had a lot of them coming through the comments. I think we had Duquesne was a good one that we saw in the comments. A couple guys actually called some upsets. And one of mine, NC State Moneyline, an 11 seed, came through. So if you guys have any March Madness upsets this week in the Sweet 16, make sure you send them in the comments this week. We're always kind of watching. We do our Pick 3 segment where we essentially give you guys our 3 best bets for the week. Uncle Peter's in the chat. What's up? He says, what up, Uncle Jimmy and Cousin Donnie. I love that one, Tim. I'm a big fan of U of I this week. And when we get to that Pick 3, I'll explain why. But U of I looked fantastic. On Sunday, I think they played. They beat the crap out of that Duquesne team. So, it's nice to see U of I. I know we can't bet on U of I. Let's see how, Jimmy. Let's see.
How you going, Donnie?
Doing all right here. We're fine. I'm just talking without you for a minute. But I think it's a little better. It's still a little choppy, but the audio was great. So okay. We'll live with that. Peter says Purdue, baby. We'll talk about our picks as well, Jimmy, right after we chat with Eric here, who's ready to come on the show.
Yeah, why don't we I was going to say, why don't we get over to Eric? I know he's in the, as we call it, the den. Just so the people that don't know Eric, Eric is the pitcher for Moneyline. He's been around the game for 15, 20 years. I don't want to steal too much of his thunder, but I know Eric has a big personality, is very, very funny in a lot of ways. And correct. I know all of us get along tremendous, so it's going to be an awesome opportunity to meet. So
it's going to be fun to chat with Eric. He's one of my favorite guys out there. I mean, definitely an outspoken fella. If you're on his good side, you're on his good side. If not, he's a guy you got to watch out for, probably a little bit. I have a great story about Eric when he comes on the show, so I want to share with you guys some cool stuff about him. Jimmy, why don't you go ahead and bring him on?
I'm going to go ahead and get to him right now. Let's get Mr. Eric Mandarino on the show. Mr. Eric, how are you, sir?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
Welcome to the Uncle Jimmy and Cousin Donnie show.
I'm looking forward to it.
How privileged are you, my man?
Very privileged. Trust me, I got the call at 10:30 last night. I was ready to go.
We were ready. We were going to go live last night. I know Eric was juiced up about a certain event that happened yesterday.
It would have made for a very entertaining show for sure.
Are you in the same mindset right now, or have you calmed down a little bit?
My hangover kind of ended around noon, but I picked back up around 6:37, so I'm getting close.
You got to get right back on that wheel. You know how it is.
That's it.
You can't be a quitter, my man.
I'm not quitting today.
No,
you can't.
No. So,
Eric, I want to talk about what happened yesterday. Really, before we get into the softball talk, we played a golf tournament yesterday, Jimmy, at X Golf in Schaumburg. And on our team, Nick Trable, we had Judd from Moneyline as well, and then one of my guys from PXG. We tried to load our team up, and we got wiped. I mean, the team to our left was Eric, and then a couple of your buddies, kind of from local. I think your brother was on the team.
Yeah, my brother,
another
Tim
guy
Parisi,
from Tim
Moneyline,
from
Jimmy from Moneyline, and then we had a ringer.
You'd never believe these guys, Jimmy. I mean, fairways, greens. They probably made 400 feet of putts yesterday as a total team. I mean,
really
screaming, celebrating, throwing stuff around the bar. It was a blast to watch and to be a part of, and they ended up winning it. They won a cash prize.
Yeah, anytime you can win anything is great.
Yeah,
so
right.
It was just there was a good team. There was a few good teams there, so it was just fun to. They were not expecting to lose yesterday. Some of the I think it was a team of like all college golfers, so they were pretty upset. I think they came and thinking they were going to get a quick $1,000 and walk out, and it didn't happen.
That's what I thought. I thought I was going to walk in there and win something and leave, and we came in like second to last, Jim.
Yeah, no, we decided we were going to use your guys' $100 for our tab last night, so we appreciate it.
Perfect. Yeah, you got it. Sure. You got it.
What happened?
We had a little side bet going on, and that was easy. I think that game was over by about the 9th hole.
Yeah, that was quick work.
I don't know anybody that got a bogey yesterday except for your team. 4-man scramble playing whites from, I think the average yardage on a hole was like 360, and they bogeyed a hole.
Yeah, we did.
That's tough.
It had to be a little cold out yesterday, no?
This was indoor.
It was indoor.
Oh, indoor. I'd never been to the X. I never heard of it.
Only you and Matty Dozen play outdoors in February.
Yeah.
It's called True Men.
I get it. No, I get it.
Actually, we you and I got to play around this year, didn't we?
We played around. We played around. We played for some cash.
Yeah, right at the end of the year, didn't we?
We did, and I won that too.
Was it me and you, or who was it?
No, it was you and Nikki versus me and Maddie.
Yeah,
perfect.
I think I beat Maddie or tied Maddie. That was the only match I cared about that day. So
that's it. I get it.
But so let's get into some softball and some questions for you, Eric. I know there's a lot of. I'm laughing before I even ask some of the questions tonight. I'm already been thinking about it. So one of the things that I think is incredible. Well, first off, yourself. But that being said, why don't you tell people in softball who Eric Mandarino is? Because there's probably a lot of people that don't know who you are, Eric. And I think it's an awesome thing to, hey, man, sell yourself. I mean, we have a lot of people from outside of the 16-inch world that watch the show. So we also have a lot of people that maybe don't play softball that watch the show. I have neighbors down the street that tell me all the time they watch a show. So tell me a little bit about, why don't you tell the world about yourself, who you play for, what you do, how long you've played. Give us the background on Eric.
Yeah, the background on Eric. I guess started playing softball. I'm obviously on the pitcher for Moneyline now, but started playing softball probably 18, 19 out in Schaumburg. Yep. That's kind of where we grew up. That's where we still live, but that's where my group was from. We started out as Speed Kills. We thought that was a cool name. Turns out it's not. I think we all wore our baseball pants with the long orange socks, everything tucked in like we were baseball players. But that's where we came up through. I kind of got into this game, into the major A level with Thunder, played in Schaumburg.
Okay.
So we played a few years out there, and we finally took down Thunder. That's kind of when Frankie Stella, I'm sure you guys all know him. I know he's not part of the game now, but he was a big part of 16 softball for a while. Kind of brought me in with Matt Martin, and I kind of just played with them for a little bit, and then kind of moved over to. I actually jumped a lot, maybe more than a lot of people. Went to Windy City, backed up with Patty and Sal, which was great. I mean, it was fun. We were good. I didn't play much.
I was gonna say I didn't. Donnie told me you played for Windy City, and I was like, I don't remember him.
Just 1 year.
Yeah,
just 1 year.
I had some commitment issues in your younger days. I
mean, yes, I definitely did. Or I would show up to the game 3 minutes before the game and expect to play on a team like that. So that wasn't happening, but it was also frustrating at 23, just wasting my time. So I kind of then, I went from there to, I think we went to Barrage. Actually, I went to Barrage, and we kind of did our own A thing, did okay. And then I think I went to Flash then with Geo. That's kind of when I got involved with Geo and played there for a year behind Gibbs, which was great. Obviously didn't play much there either. And I kind of got to the point where I'm like, I gotta play. Like, I don't want to waste my time. Like I'm either playing or I'm not. Like I'd rather lose than sit. And that's kind of how the game is right now. Like a lot of people want to play and not sit. So it's tough to get that deep bench. That's kind of what we struggle with as a team, good program. Which, like I said, I went to Flash, I went to Mudville. I know Gio says I go to Mudville every time everybody goes to Mudville, but I was there for a little bit. And then I went back to my high school buddies and we said, hey, we're going to give this a shot. Played the Terry Moran tournament and we won it. And at that point, my guys thought we were better than everybody. Like we're gonna beat everybody. We won a tournament, and that's it. And I kind of I'm like, that's not going to happen. But I'm willing to give it a shot. And we competed. I mean, in the A level for a few 3-4 years. I think we became one of the premier A League teams by the time we were done. Could never get the job done.
Yep.
And then I made the tough decision with some of our guys to kind of make that move to go to Moneyline. And
now you got 19 guys on the roster. So
we got 18. We got 18 healthy guys. It's a healthy roster. My thing in all of our meetings and everything is always you're as good as your bench.
Yeah.
And, I mean, we got 7 guys that I think we could plug at any time, and I don't think the dynamic of our team would ever change. So
with the only thing, and I tell Maddie this all the time, is you guys play in one league. And you play 5 tournaments. So it's, when you have that many guys, it's hard to get guys swings when you only play in one league.
I don't disagree with that.
So that's the only thing that I could see this year with your team. And because come those tournaments, you know how it is, man. Guys want to play. Guys that have played the major sport, they don't want to sit the bench, especially when they think that they deserve to play. So that would be, and I always say Flash seems to handle it fine every year. But they have, I think, a system that works. They have certain guys that come, certain guys that don't. They understand it. They play in 2 leagues, so there's always games that go around for them. And then come tournament time, they put the best 11 on the field. So I'm not saying that Maddie won't be able to handle it. But going into the season, and that's my next question for you, is the money line, since we're at that point. Discussing your team, and I know you guys picked up some good players, and you guys are going to be, in my opinion, a top 8 team all year long this year in softball. With
8, 10? Is it 8 or 10?
Nah, I'd say top 8.
All right,
Jimmy's preseason ranking was a little high. I think is what Eric is getting at.
What?
I think you rank them a little bit high in your preseason ranking.
You mean a little bit low?
Numbers wise, 10.
Donnie, I'm with you. I'm with you on the higher number.
Well, usually in a rankings, you start with 1 being high and the 10th or 9th is low.
Think about numbers.
I rated them 10th though. I think they
were 1 is a
low.
low number. 10 is a higher number.
Yeah, we have this argument with my buddies all the time.
Your best
is the 1 seed is the 1 seed the higher seed or the lower seed?
It's the higher seed, like in the tournament, right?
Lower. Whatever. It's beyond the point. Seed. Get into the answer before this goes in a bad direction.
Yeah, let's get crazy. But either way, I think with your pickups, you guys are going to improve. You're going to be better. Tell us a little bit about Moneyline.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think Matty Dozen is probably going to have the hardest job as a manager this year. There's no question about it. I think he's going to have to roll up his sleeves and make some big boy decisions this year. I honestly, I truly believe we have probably the most, I don't know the right word, but like
depth.
Definitely depth. I don't think there's a team that has more depth than us. Maybe I'm being biased, but I really don't. I mean, we have 5-6 outfielders that you can plug and play at any day of the week, speed and everything like that. And I know a lot of teams feel that way, but I'm pretty confident in what we got out there, and our infield is interchangeable. I would say if we got a guy going to play shortstop this year, Jason Ganick, that I think might be one of the most underrated players in softball. I don't think many people even know who he is. But he races. But
he's really good.
So
no,
I
don't know the name. I'm sure I know the face.
Yeah, no, I mean that's what most people say. So, but he's our 3-hitter. He might have batted like 700 at Forest Park last year. That's kind of what he does.
He definitely got a couple hits in that first game, Eric. He might have gotten
that pitcher was just laying him in there. It was just very easy.
Serving him up.
Just holes everywhere.
Iron?
That was Iron. Yeah, we played Iron. We got them. But yeah, I mean, obviously we got Marty Dozen back. To me, he's a game changer. I'm to be honest with you, when we merged and I found out his son was off the team, I told Nicky Drabel, I'm like, you got to be kidding me. What did I just sign up for? He can't even keep his son on his team. Like, what are we doing? Like, what am I doing right now? You know?
Right.
So to get him back, I mean, I think he's a superstar. Heard his schedule's changed a little bit, so I'm excited if we get him out there almost full time. That's going to be unbelievable. And then obviously both the Davis brothers. I've seen Brian play forever. Obviously Ricky's come into his own over the last few years. And then, last year, I mean, I thought we played pretty well. I think we were top 8 in almost every tournament. And Dan Judd and Phil were going to be our 3-4s, and they both had down years. I think they will tell you that. I mean, by the end, there was times where neither one of them were playing at all. I think both of them are going to be able to contribute huge this year. So to get those two guys who I thought were our 2 best hitters possibly last year, that didn't help us at all. Not help us at all, but really underperformed, that I think can really overperform this year. I mean, Matty Doza can have a tough time.
Yeah. I think too, a guy you haven't mentioned is Brian Acosta. I played with Bino back in the day. He's a stone cold hitter. He's probably, say what you want, but he's going to be your most consistent hitter, and he's going to be one of your better hitters on that team all year long.
Yep.
So,
and a great human being.
He is. I think everybody on my team knows he's one of my favorites. There's no doubt about it. He's an awesome dude.
Awesome.
He's a great hitter. He's got pop. He never shows his stuff when people are watching. That's his thing. He doesn't ever show his stuff. When he gets out, doesn't want to show his stuff. That's because he sees guys watching him. So, but he's a gamer. There's no, you said it right.
I absolutely love him. So always have, always will. Back in his younger days, he was a little more on the wild side than he is now, but he was awesome, man. He's always been an incredible hitter, and his commitment now is tremendous. Like, he shows up to everything. So
he's a full timer. Yeah,
and he drives in from pretty far too. Doesn't he come from Indiana?
Yep.
Yeah, he's got a nice drive, so he's always willing to stay for a few extra after the game, which is nice. Have some good combo with him.
So with all those outfielders, I don't want you to say your opinion because I don't want to get you in trouble, but I got to think that little Marty's going to play center, right? You got to have Matt Martin in probably left, or Drew. I mean, that's got to be your 3 outfielders. Drew had a tremendous year last year. Mm-hmm. He was probably one of your best players in the biggest spots in the biggest tournament, and especially in Forest Park. He was a double machine. So, and the kid's getting, growing into his own. So
Drew also another Drew that just absolutely raked at Forest Park. There's no doubt about it. He had an unbelievable year. I think Matty, I know you guys want entertainment. This may be the route I'm not going to go entertainment wise on who I think should be our outfielders, but I think Matty's going to have decisions to make when it comes to defense and offense. I'll say that. I think, we got guys that are definitely, I feel, are a little bit better defensively. So I think depending on the game and who we're playing against, I think those decisions are going to be made. I honestly think that everybody is I know Matty Martin will sit 3 games in a row. I'll sit 3. I want to win now.
That's my point. It's one team, you know what I mean? So
I think
Matty will do a good job. You guys will figure it out. I mean, that's not a concern. I just, when you got that many bodies and you're playing one league, it's gonna. He's like, to your point, he's gonna have a tough decision time throughout the year. So, but better to be Matty than you. So
for sure.
You just got to get there and perform. I know you can. There's already a comment from Julian Russell, who's a buddy of yours from the 38s. He says you're the best pitcher in softball. I mean, I've said it. I mean, people say it. I mean, that's a pretty high praise, and you back it up. But my question, have you always been a pitcher? When you say you were playing behind Jibs with Flash, And I know you pitched for Windy City when you were there. Have you always just kind of taken to the pitcher spot?
Yeah, I mean, that's just kind of what I did when we started our team back in the day. Somebody had to do it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I can move around a little bit, but just that was a decision made, and that's just kind of the role I took. And obviously, defense has been a specialty of mine, so it's just kind of
we know it ain't hitting, so it's got to be defense.
That's fair. I'm okay. I get on. I do my job.
We're gonna need.
I'm telling you, when I lead off, I'm great. When I bat 11th, it's just like this guy stinks, and I feel like I stink. So I don't know. I keep telling Manny to be back.
Dude, sorry, Eric, you put it on the tee. I had to say it, dude.
No, that's fair.
Listen, don't let Jimmy bully you in this show, Eric. As soon as Jimmy mouths off, you can give it right back to him. That's what we need on this show, because I'm starting
to get comfortable. I am. I'm starting to get comfortable. I'm going to get going here soon.
That's what I want. I
love it.
My first, question, and you are a fiery human being, right? You're a competitor through and through, and that's why I like watching you, because you're gonna speak your opinion, and it's fun playing against you because you do the same thing, and where do you get that from? Where does that fire kind of come from? Was it something you had when you were younger too, kind of playing other sports? And I mean, people probably don't even like you a lot of the time because of that. But when you get off the field, you're a different human, obviously. But where does that come from?
Yeah, dude. Honestly, I don't even know. I mean, not to bring my parents into it, but my dad don't swear. They don't do any of that stuff. The F-bomb comes to my mouth every other word. I don't know I honestly don't know where it came from, but that's just kind of how I grew. Obviously, probably just being over competitive. Obviously I was never big, so maybe that was what it was. But I don't know, man. Last year, the guys keep reminding. I think the first game we played against Hex, I think I made 4 errors. I think I bit the ball and tried to take myself out of the game. It wasn't good. I mean, I cost our team the game, so I take it out of myself. I don't really ever take it out of my teammates. I don't think. Maybe they'll disagree. Maybe somebody will comment, but for the most part, I keep it in to my teammates. I just take it out on myself. But yeah, dude, there's no doubt that a lot of people don't like me sometimes when we're playing. I think a lot of people off the field like me, but during games, it's probably 50-50. Maybe even my own players. Maybe my own players. It's probably 50-50 at times. So
I love that. I mean, it's fun to watch, and if you don't like it, you definitely don't like it. But I'm a fan. I like when you get all fired up because it's entertainment. I was there when you bit that ball. I was going to ask you about that, but you've already kind of touched on that. So that's great. No. Marty wants to know, you don't throw balls at your teammates?
No, that's a lie too. I did throw a ball. That a lot of people probably, if you were a pitcher and you lost a bankroll in a major national, you probably want to throw the ball at any one of your teammates. So yeah, that was a brutal game. That's tough.
Well, you know why you lost? You had your coach on the other side. Couldn't play without your coach.
He already knows that's a game. It never will happen again.
Yeah.
So
couldn't play without your coach. I mean, you know what? We got to blow smoke up Maddie's ass, because when I kick his ass in golf on Friday, it'll be awesome. When we get rolling in the fall, I should say. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Golf. So
yeah, no,
it'll be incredible.
Yeah, so I do a lot of everything. I've thrown bats. I think I've thrown a ball at an umpire in Schaumburg before. So, I mean, I haven't changed. I don't change at home. I don't change at work. So I definitely keep it real. It's not for everybody sometimes.
Yeah, you know what, though? I mean, here's the thing. Don't stop being who you are. I mean, that's, people who want to play with you because of the fire, because it matters to you. Yeah. So, I mean, I would want to play with you 100% because it matters to you. Those are the guys I like, right? I mean, when you show up to the park and you're getting pissed off when you're playing iron or you're playing X or you're playing whoever, that shit matters. I'd rather play for guys where it cares, especially a guy like me who's married, 3 kids, going to the park,
wasting your time,
get there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when guys like you show up and want to play and want to be there, one of the reasons why I love Kurt so much now on our team is the guy wants to be there. You know, he's fiery. Back in the day, we might have had our differences, but now, I mean, it's like, dude, he's the guy.
I take him on my squad, no doubt about it. He's 100%. Just like me. Yeah, I got no.
Brian Davis is that way too, and you're gonna love Brian Davis. I mean, Brian Davis is a fiery dude. It matters to him when he's there, and I don't know. I think you guys are going to be tremendously better than you were last year. There's no doubt about that. Picking up 2 of the premier major players to add to your roster, in my eyes, you can't get worse. You're only going to get better. So we know that.
Yeah.
Where you're going to land from 1 to 8, I think it can, just like any team, I think it could be, any given weekend, it could be 4 new teams that,
I think
that could win a tournament.
I think 4 majors. 4. I think we're gonna have four different winners. That's just my opinion, but I think it's just gonna be wide open. I'm not wide open, but I think there's gonna be definitely some changes at the top. From one tournament to another.
Yeah, no, 100%. So there's no doubt about that. But Donnie, do you want to go ahead and answer another question before I get to one of mine?
Yeah, you want me to look at the comments quick?
Yeah, why don't you get in the comments, see what we got out there? I see a bunch of stuff going through. So.
Yep. We've got Peter's in the chat. Trey Johnson's in the chat. Put a couple lemons emojis.
Did you guys get the shirt? Did you guys get the shirts? Are the shirts clear back there?
No. We'll have a segment where you can talk about.
I got to talk about these squads. These are some of my premier squads back there, dude.
I believe it.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to talk about these guys.
Brian Sloan said we're the 3 best-looking pitchers in the game. That's great.
That's right. Brian said
Sean wants to know about
Brian. Yeah,
back to iron.
He's right on that. He's right on the line.
He's got very good look. He's got very good eyes.
No,
very good taste. Steve-O Rodriguez said I've got a nice head of lettuce. That's good. That's a good thing. Brian Fry says wind was blowing in the bankroll versus Moneyline game. You should have been embarrassed to lose to so many 50 and over guys.
That's awesome comment, Brian. Nice work, my man. I appreciate that.
Jimmy, what's your next question for Mr. Mandarino?
Before we get there, I want to say basically Steve-O Rodriguez.
Yeah,
I am very pissed at that man. He gave me some selling salt or whatever at the game and didn't tell us what it was in a jar. We sniffed it, dude. I literally couldn't get it out of my system for 3 straight days. Felt like I was
at the Bulls game.
It was some powerful stuff. So stay away from that man. He's a dangerous dude. But getting into my top 10 list, okay, we talked about the top 10. It's something that we were just talking about 1 through 8. Where would you? Because I know that Maddie gave me some shit. He's like, Eric was pissed off. You break this low. So
of course I was. Why wouldn't I be?
I get it. So give me
it's everybody's opinion.
Your top 10 as it sits today. You can include the Iowa team because obviously they're going to be very good this year. Where would you be 10-1 right now in Eric's world?
I did think about this because I knew we were going to be talking about it. And
take your notes out, my man.
I'm going to be honest with you. I snuck you guys in at 10.
Hey, that's fine.
I did. I actually wanted to put Whale there. I think Whale. I'm telling you, laugh. I think they had some nice pickups, and I think they're going to make a huge jump this year. But
I hope they do.
For your show, I wanted to make sure I kept Hex at least in the top 10. So I left you guys at 10.
That's good.
I actually put Dynasty at 9. I think they had a few good. I know they lost a couple guys, but I think they had a couple good pickups, and I think they're going to play good ball this year.
I agree with you there, 100%.
Yeah.
Yep.
8, I went BTA. Nothing against them, but we lost 4-3, and we beat them in Forest Park. So I'll take myself over them.
Yep.
I'll give them a little bit of some billboard material for their locker room for next season. I did go signature 7. Donnie said they're looking good. I think they got a lot of good players.
Thank you.
There's a lot of good teams, so it was tough. But I actually did put the Old Timers Chuck's team at 6. I think if they merge, man, I told everybody I think they're going to be tough. They're going to be a tough team. That's a lot of hitters. I know defense. I don't think they're awful at defense. They might struggle a tad, but they're going to put up a lot of runs. I don't want to pitch that. Hopefully they don't have to pitch that game if I ever have to play them. But
no, you want to pitch that game. Don't lie. I'm going to want to pitch against them this year. I know that.
Yeah, for sure. No, there's no doubt. This is where it gets interesting, but I'm confident in my squad, so I didn't put us at 5 either. I put High Y at 5. They're my favorite team to play against by far. Obviously, with my fiery self,
with your energy,
I would play High Y 50 times a year. I know my team doesn't love playing him or doesn't want to play him that many times. I'd play him every single game. It's just that's just the environment I want to be in. I know it gets out of hand a little bit. Like that's the one time where I wish, as long as it's on the field and nobody worries about what happens after the game, like I don't. It's on the field, and then hopefully I can have beers with everybody off the field. But I love playing high Y. That's just who I want to play against every game. I did put us at 4. I got money line at 4.
Okay.
I'm confident. I think we're gonna have a good year. Obviously,
So
we won't know.
What is the money? What is the money line on Moneyline winning a tournament?
Money line on Moneyline winning one of the 4 majors.
Yeah. Well, 5.
I'm gonna go with.
Or if you go by Geo, it's really 5 if you include the best tournament of the year, Forest Park.
I'll go 5. I'll go 5 because I'm feeling pretty good about Forest Park this year with that bye that we got from last year. So
hey, no team.
I
mean, we usually get a bye too. I don't know if you noticed that, but no team has ever won Forest Park without a bye. Remember that?
I did not know that. So actually, I was going to say plus 750, but I just moved it to plus 500, knowing that stat. So I'm going to say plus 500. I'll say plus 500.
I mean, God forbid, you can go back 30, 40 years. I'm sure there's been a team that's got a bye one. But honestly, if you look in the last 20 years, I don't think there's a team that's one of. I don't know. Maybe Dynasty. I don't know. Maybe Dynasty didn't have a bye when they won it. I'm not really sure.
Yeah,
that's a possibility.
That's a good possibility. But I mean,
Pop says
that's ridiculous.
Pop says you guys are plus 3,000.
If we were a good program, Pops would probably put us at like plus 1,000. He loved that team more than he loves Moneyline.
He did. He did like those guys.
But all right, Pop 3,000. Okay, I'll take that bet actually, Pops. If you're taking it, I'll take that plus 3,000.
I throw a couple bucks on them at plus 3,000. That's
you got
sure.
5. You got 5 opportunities.
That's it.
You guys are ranked 4th. That means you should win 1.
Hey, I'll take. I'm confident. I'm ready to roll this year.
Let me ask you a question. When was the last time Moneyline actually beat Hex? Since we're down at 10, we should ask Matty Dozen.
That's actually
that is in the comment. Actually, ask Matty Dozen was the last time.
That's a good question. Actually, good program is 8-1 against you guys, but
in Forest Park when we played you.
That was the one game.
Oh,
that was the one game.
That's
Unfortunately,
the only time I remember playing good program.
Oh, you remember? I remember. You remember in Schaumburg. You came to us in the parking lot. You talked about the bad game you guys had, but no, we were I think about 5-0 in Schaumburg against you guys. I think our only loss was, and you guys even had the. Even were talking about your game after our game already. I wanted to be.
Was I playing short?
I don't even know if you were playing. You might not even made the roster at Forest Park that game. Honestly. Were you playing? Maybe short. You were probably playing shortstop.
I don't know. I was either playing short or I don't know, because half the time I usually got to play a position on our team. So hopefully this will be the first year I actually get to pitch.
You might move up in the rankings at pitcher if you get to pitch a few more games.
I hopefully so. Matty Dozen says
they'll go to 9.
100 against X.
Okay. But I'll move on to I got 45s at 3.
Oh, and I like that. Okay.
Nice. I had a tough time here, but I'm gonna go Flash 2, and I'm actually gonna go Circus 1.
Yeah.
Good offseason.
And I know they don't play as much as everybody else, but that's a tough lineup, man. It's gonna be a tough lineup. Yeah. They got a lot of good players. I know all those teams.
If anybody had
what's that?
If anybody had as good offseason as you guys did, it was Circus.
Yeah.
I mean, they picked up with Alonji, Sherwin, and those guys, and their guys sticking around. Yeah. That you guys had a fantastic offseason.
I hope my Hex guys are hearing all this right now. We want bulletin board material.
Oh, absolutely. I hope everybody here wants it right now. That just makes the games better.
You know, we've got
That's it. It's just making the game better.
100%, dude. We need rivalries back in this game. That's what we need. You know what I mean? Yes, we could be friends off the field, but you know what? When we get on that field, fuck you, Donnie, and that's what I'm going to say.
Yeah. For sure. I mean, Donnie's got, what are you, 9? Is it 9-2, Donnie, right now, or 9-1 against them?
Yeah, we're doing all right now. I didn't want to mention the score from Wednesday, but since you said that, it was 21-6 on Wednesday when we played.
Yeah, against our B squad. Relax, bro. It's coming.
For sure.
Hey, if you were Moneyline, you would have had those. You would have had that depth, and you would have had no problem.
It's okay though. I mean, it's fine. Eric, we got to build them up. You understand what I'm saying? And we get outside. No, there ain't gonna be no more dome balls extending innings for fucking 7 runs. You know
I hate that. Is a frustrating thing.
Yeah, I mean, ask Donnie how many hits he got on last Wednesday.
Donnie,
you know what, Eric? We did the right thing on Wednesday. We did the right thing almost every time.
That's fair. That's fair.
It was 0.
That's all I gotta say. We scored 21 runs off Jimmy.
Not off Jimmy. That's a lie. That's a complete lie, and you know it.
Well, Eric, that's a great ranking. Thank you for that. Let's continue on before.
Yeah, no, Eric,
What else you got, Jim?
I like your top 10 list. I truly do. There's two teams that I think, obviously, that could make a jump. You mentioned Whale being one of them, right? That could make a jump in that top 10. You said Dynasty, I think, was 9, right?
Yeah.
I for some reason, I know they lost their better players.
I know, but
I just feel they're going to make a run this year.
They got Jack, and I think they got some guys from I forget the team, but they got Mays.
They got Billy.
Yeah, they got a few. They got a nice. I think they're going to be okay.
And don't sleep on Meatball City. I know they lost.
I don't sleep on Meatball City at all.
They picked up some young kids that I know they're pretty excited about, and I think they're gonna improve too. And the shirt he's got on right now, Iron, they improve too. I mean, I don't know about CJ, but
I agree.
But CJ's my boy. He knows I'm kidding. But the rest of them, like Joe and Chapo and some of and then they have a young outfield. Like, they're going to be a team on the rise, I think too. I mean,
yeah. Now I know why Pops put us at plus 3,000 because I didn't put his team in the top 10.
Well, there you go.
Now it makes more sense.
Yeah, well,
I get it. No, that's cool.
What other team are we missing? I feel like we're missing one that's on that borderline.
I think March
Impact.
Yeah, March.
Yeah, they're gonna
improve too.
Yeah.
I put them in my top 10. I think I put them at 10. So they'll be right there with some nice pickups in the offseason too. Guys coming over from Hex actually.
I still know where Julian Russell's playing. I know I've heard a lot of stuff. You guys, has it confirmed yet? Because
I think
38.
I think it's high Y. We're gonna have to ask. I think it's high Y. I think he's gonna be up the middle for high Y.
Nobody's responding.
Julian, you want to confirm?
I would love I think the whole world would love a confirmation on that.
Why would he leave the 38s though? I heard he was going to go to the 45s. He left the 45s, went back to the 38s because the kids on the team were giving him shit. Why wouldn't he stay there now? Why would he go to high Y? I know with Trey, I know there's a little connection there, right? Is that what it is?
Yeah, I would love. Trust me, hey, if he's on, you might as well just. I mean, the season's almost here. What are we waiting for? I mean, I think 38s could play with him over there. I would love to see what Alan and his boys could do.
Right.
They got some kids coming out of. Thanks, Pops. Appreciate it, dude. Top 5. I'll take it. I'm sure Mikey Marola is just ahead of me.
I said you're top 2. I said you're top 2 and you're not 2, Eric. Just a heads up.
Thanks, dude. I appreciate that.
Where is Julian at? I would love to see. I would love that.
Moji said he's in the room. He's getting out right now.
He is.
He probably just.
While we wait for Julian, Jimmy, what was your next question for our guy?
Well, I mean, my next thing was basically going to be rapid fire, but Donnie, why don't you hear your next question, and then we'll go to the chat. And I'll rapid fire.
Fantastic. So you've played usually you've bounced around between some teams, and you play with a lot of your friends now, and your friends in the past, and some really good teams. And who's somebody that you haven't played with that you always wanted to, or still would like to? Who's somebody that you haven't got a chance to play a full season with? Not so much, the single tournaments and whatnot. Somebody that you would want to.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't really even know him that well, but I think Iggy, dude, I would love to have him behind me at shortstop. It just seems like he's a great team guy, dude. Never flustered. I'd like to have him behind me at shortstop, not just because he's a great player, but it just seems like, and even Spencer, I think another great teammate that I've heard a lot of good things about. That another really talented kid that I wouldn't mind having behind me. I mean, there's a lot, dude. That's why if you guys were going to ask me what I would change about the game, because I know I have some things on that. But there's a lot of guys, honestly. But I'm content. I'm content playing with who I'm playing with this year, definitely. And
for sure.
I'm actually extremely excited. So, but yeah, I'd say those two guys for sure.
We get Iggy a lot in that reply, just because he's a good human and he's a fantastic softball player, right? Part of the Flash team that won No Gloves, co-MVP with Moj, and the good human, like you said. So we get that reply a lot. Spencer, we get a lot. So he sounds like the shortstop category is just where you want to hang out with.
I mean, I love Jason Gannick, and I'm hoping he's the answer.
For sure.
He's got 3 kids, so we'll see how long he lasts. But if any one of those guys wants to slide in next year, I'm sure we can make it happen. So
there you go. This is all part of the recruiting process.
I'll recruit all day.
Nothing wrong with recruiting. Remember
No,
that.
definitely not.
Correct.
So before, something just popped in my mind. Before I get to our rapid fire, I do have a question for you, because we talk about the state of softball. We talk about where the game is today. We talk all the time about, you're kind of upper 30s, right, Eric?
Yeah, I'm almost 40. Thank you.
So you've been around softball from when you started to now. What are some of the things you think maybe is different in a good way or different in a bad way when you look at when you started softball at the major level to where the game sits today?
I think honestly, social media both ways. I think good and bad, right? I mean, um, I think the game's more connected. I think people are more connected with each other. Obviously, you could see more games, but there's just a lot of negativity for a game that's supposed to be just for pleasure. I mean, at the end of the day, it's for me. I know you guys talk about money and where money's going and ASA, SSA. Dude, I don't care. Like I don't play to win a tournament to get $3,000. Like,
Yeah.
and maybe it's because I've been lucky to be on teams that have been sponsored and like you're not worried about fundraising and things like that. Maddie Dozen's taking care of us and it's been fantastic. But I literally can give two shits if Maddie Dozen gets a $4,000 check at the end of Forest Park if we win Forest Park. Like that's all I care about doing is playing to win a game in a tournament. And so there's just a lot of that. I don't know. I mean, I just want to play. I wish there weren't all these different platforms. I really do think it's kind of really causing a big issue with bringing everybody together. I mean, I see it every day on Facebook. I'm not a big Facebook poster, but that's what it seems like to me. It's just there's too many guys commenting and judging and whatever. And I know some people have good intent, Jimmy, like you want to, like your goal is to go bring people outside of Illinois to this game. And so I have no issue with that. I have no issue with people. Yeah. I don't have an issue with people saying a damn thing. Honestly, I just feel like that's what's causing the problem in the game,
Right.
And that's just kind of what I think, but at the end of the day, I want to play for just winning the game. And I don't care where ASA is putting $10,000 in for the winning team. Like I don't care. I'm not playing in another tournament. I can only play in 5. Like that's what I get. That's what I get. That's what my family allows me to get. So
right.
Somebody throws a $20,000 tournament in for me to go play in Maddie already knows I'm not going. Like I don't care. Like I give you what I got, and that's what I'm going to give you for the year. So
yeah, no, I think you hit a lot of good points. I think I know Donnie's got some opinions on this, and I'll hand it over to you, Donnie, in a second. You can reply. But
yeah,
one of the things I think with the game where it stayed is, to your point, like the money's. I don't think money is really that important. I think money's more important if we want to promote the game to the next level, meaning we need to get corporate sponsors. We need to get, bigger things in play, over time. I think that's where money comes in. I never once have I ever win a tournament and be like, all right, where's my check? Like that doesn't happen. Okay. So, to me,
I feel like people always are commenting like, even ASA back in the day, it's like they took all this money. Like, did they? I mean, I'd pay $200 to play 5 tournaments and play a park league for a men's league, to get out of the house. So like I pay $500 for that. Like to me, that's pure entertainment. I pay $1,000 in fantasy football and I usually never getting that money back. So
yeah. Well, to your point, that's why the SSA started.
Correct. Yeah.
So I get where you're going with it. And then now the SSA is kind of taken over, obviously 16 in softball. The ASA is still out there. I know Dave Padilla runs tournaments on the north side or on the south side. Hamlin and a lot of those guys like Jackson Perry, a lot of those guys that work in the north side for the Park District, they run tournaments up on the north side, Tamaran, things like that. So there's awesome opportunities to play on both sides. I just think that, to your point, they do got to come together a little bit, which it'll never happen. So we're beating a dead horse. But at the same time, people are always going to have the right to their opinion. The SSA was created for the players, by the players. I think that's their saying.
That is their saying.
Okay, so when you do have certain things, and we do certain things in the game and take votes and stuff like that, I think they're finally starting to come around a little bit. I'm starting to see some changes. We're starting to see some things that hopefully are going to improve softball from the standpoint of more exposure outside of the 400 people that play it.
Yeah.
If you want a sport to continue to grow, you have to get more than the 400 people that play the game, friends and families. You have to grow it outside. And
I think that's what you guys are doing. I fully support this. Like,
yeah.
I'm not obviously I grew through the game with Gio and Patty, and obviously Maddie now. I'm a full supporter of SSA. I don't know how anybody puts this much time into something. I would never even think about doing it. I don't think many people that play softball that even comment would think about doing that. And I think that has to mean something to people, and they should have a lot of say in what does happen, because if they walked away, I don't know what would happen to the game. I know people think that
people
might do something, but at the end of the day, I think the game would just fall apart. So I think SNA is definitely right now the glue. But to what you're saying, I think what you guys are doing to get the game outside is definitely valuable, and I think it has to happen. Because it's cool. I mean, the 12-inch team, I would love to see what they do. I mean, I think a lot of people would. It's like saying like my buddies can beat the girls, #1 college basketball team. You have those things like all the time, like we would kill them, right? I'm sure they would kick our ass.
Right.
But it would be nice to get those two 12-inch, 16-inch intermingled and see what happens.
I mean, Donnie and I are super pumped about this. We got the news about an hour before we went on, and I think to watch their first game at Major Nationals, whoever they play.
Yeah.
I think there's people, you better believe that everyone in 16 inches, they're not playing, is going to be there watching.
And the people probably from their home state are going to be watching too.
Yeah. So you're going to have the live streams. You're going to have, you name it, we're going to have it going,
Yeah. So, if they have fun, I mean, that's just going to be word of mouth, and that's going to be the next step for you guys, for what you guys are doing. So like I said, I think this is valuable. But the game's got some places to go. But I still think it's in an okay place. I have fun. I think people are having fun.
Yeah, 100%. And, think about all the sports talk shows there are about professional sports in life. Okay. There's probably hundreds of them. So we have 2 or 3 in softball now, which is, I think, a good thing. You know what I mean? You got the dude from the Big Ballers. You got the other dude you got Gio from SSA. I know our Hall of Fame, what's his name? John. I'm trying to blank on his last name, Donnie, what's his last name? Farina, is it? The guy who does the Hall of Fame interviews that we're going to go interview with. Farina, I believe.
He comments on our show. Sorry.
I'm drawing a blank on his last name, but Paul Rowan and those guys, they do an awesome job. They have their YouTube things going, all that.
Canana.
Huh?
John Canana.
Yeah, he does an incredible job. So it's really cool to start seeing more and more people do the social media. That's how we grow the game, right? So it's awesome. But we want to get to your rapid fire. Donnie, why don't you go to the chat, see if
I was going to go and just kind of go through some of these comments really quick. We appreciate Lee Reeder it says you guys are doing amazing work, and you guys have kind of taking over where I left off, was a part of softball maybe a while ago, and jumping back in and watching our show. Appreciate that. Lee says he just wants No Gloves to expand. So that's what we want. That's why we're doing this, right, Eric? That's why you're on. That's why we have all the guests on. So we had Mike North on. We want to say Julian Russell is still in the chat and dodged our questions, which is lame, but that's fine. He's in his own world. I won't pressure the man.
No, I'm
Rich Rizzo.
Julian, you better respond.
Julian, well, come on, man. We got Ryan Kamowski says, "What's up, E? Good to see you so involved with this, which is pretty cool." We've got some friends of yours watching the show, and we appreciate everybody for watching, especially the Beacon Tap on the sponsorship. That's amazing. Thank you guys for doing all that. Jimmy, is there anybody that I missed that's watching the show?
No, I think you hit everyone right on the head. So we're going to get right into the rapid fire. So, Eric, this is a segment of our show that we always talk about 10 individuals in softball that have somewhat of meaning to you, or maybe just get a good laugh out of you, okay?
Yeah.
So
I want to preface, I had a conversation with 2 people at once today, Eric, about some of these names that I should bring onto the on the show tonight. You could probably guess who those folks are.
It has to be Nick and Matt.
Yes. So your Uncle Jimmy put a nice list together for you. Donnie and I, and we are going to start with number 10.
Is this like in an order, or is this just what?
It's an order that I picked.
Okay.
So I rank a 10 to 1. We start with number 10, and what we want you to do is give 1 or 2 sentences or maybe a story, if whatever you like, about each individual that's on this list. Okay.
Okay.
Or don't like.
Okay.
We're gonna start at the bottom, and we're gonna work our way up to the top. All right. So number 10, Cece from the Pharaohs.
Oh my God, dude, one of my favorite people, dude. I love that guy, man. He's a trip, dude. He is an absolute trip. Just like playing high Y, I love playing against Pharaohs. When they sing to me, man, dude, I can't get enough of that. I really can't. Like that's 16-inch softball to me when Pharaohs are singing 2-out special to me. So, and I don't think I've ever gotten a guy out when they start singing it to me. So there's some long innings when they get 2 outs and a couple of guys on. CC's a good dude. He's into 16-inch softball. He's into the game. He's here to support the game. And I really do like him a lot. So big fan.
Number 9, Mr. Pat Caputo himself.
Patty Caputo. Another big fan. Definitely one of the guys that got me into the game and really supported me in pitching and stuff like that. I loved him as a manager. There's a lot of talks that he's going to be coming with us this year, so I'm really hoping that's the case. I got not a bad thing to say about him. He's always been in my corner, and he's always given me a lot of advice, and big fan. I could say just big fan as him as well.
Perfect. Number 8, this is a member of Team Jagoff. He is the Jagoff, the number 1 Jagoff, Mr. Kevin Knorr.
Kevin Knorr, dude. Best friend on Moneyline, man. Dude, this dude came out of nowhere, dude, last year. I mean, I thought he was an okay player, honestly, coming over to our team. I know he can kind of play all over the place. I told everybody I know he struggled at the plate a little bit last year, like we all did kind of, but defensively, I honestly don't think maybe Duff, maybe Mike Myers was a better defensive second baseman last year. I'd take him over, and he was lights out in the field for me. So I put him anywhere behind me, no doubt about it.
Awesome. Number 7, this man coached the Bullfrogs, Mr. Phil Coppersmith.
Oh my God. Who gave you this name?
Matt Martin gave me.
Dude, we've had some issues. We had some issues with the Bull. Bottom line, we had some issues. I ran my mouth. We had some issues with the Bullfrogs. I mean, I'm sure I have no issue with him at the bar, but he wasn't one of my he was not one of my favorite people on the softball field. I can tell you that. So we'll leave it at that.
You don't want to get into the incident, huh?
I was backing up a buddy of mine. I mean,
okay.
My wife was there with the kids, and it turned into me telling them they need to go home. If you're going to come in and try to tell me to cool it, hit the road. This is men's softball. So, but I was supporting my friends at the time. So
I understand.
Yeah.
No worries. Number 6, your boy, Nick Drabel.
I've grown it. He's became one of my best friends, dude. I love him to death. He's one of my ride or dies now for sure. I can't say a bad thing about him. He's not as good a short center as I thought he was as of last year, but other than that, dude, he's a ride or die with me. So I love him to death.
I know he was really upset last year about his hitting.
Did he tell you about his fielding?
No, I didn't talk about fielding.
He was probably upset about that too. But this guy, he can only, just like you said, he can only, just like our team can only go up with the pickups. So could he. He can only go up this year.
Eric, can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah.
What does Nick think, or what would you like him to think going into this upcoming season with you guys picking up so many players?
As far as him playing,
what do you? Yes.
My stance on Nick Drabel for Moneyline would be I would not want anybody playing behind me.
I love that. I love that.
That's my stance.
I'm guessing that there's
I'm not saying that's going to happen. That's not my decision, but I prefer nobody behind me but Nick Drabel.
I love that. And I like your connection. You guys are playing good together, but there's probably a number of guys on that team that are a little bit intimidated with the guys coming in.
No doubt about it.
Would you agree?
That goes back to Matty having we got a lot of infielders, and he's going to make some choices.
Yeah.
What was it? What number is that? 5?
No, that's 6. Don't get ahead of yourself.
I feel like I was cruising for a second. These
number
are easy ones.
Donnie had to get in there and ask the question. So number 5.
All right.
This man coached Thunder. Okay, Mr. Frank Stella.
Yeah. Frank gets a little bit of a bad rap, I think, in the 16 softball world. I got nothing but respect for him. I think he's brought a lot of young talent to 16 softball. I know he loses a lot of them, which is unfortunate, but he's brought a lot of young talent. I think there's a lot of kids still playing that came up through Thunder, and that just kind of goes to show what kind of eye he has for talent. And maybe it's because he was out in the burbs and people didn't travel out there to get players, but I played with them for a long time. I had a long relationship with them. I still text with him every once in a while. So I don't got a bad thing to say about him. He really brought me into the game. So I'm okay with Frank.
Number 4, Mr. Matt Dozen.
Matty Dozen. I love Matty Dozen, man. Last year when we merged, after about a month, I told Nikki and those guys, I'm like, this was so stupid. Like, I just wasn't there. I just didn't feel it. Like, I'm like, this is just not. And then I don't know what it was, man. Something clicked with this team, and I couldn't be happier. I thought he did an amazing job with the squad last year. He's very transparent. He got his son back, which is fantastic. So he really can recruit. If you can get your son back, I feel like you're a great recruiter. But he takes care of us, man. He takes care of us. He's a great coach. He cares about the game. I think we got him out of his shell a little bit last year. So I got Dan Judd betting on games, $1,000. He's got his phone in his like hand that nobody could see. Matty doesn't like people on the phone in the dugout, but he also doesn't like drinking in the dugout. He doesn't like us telling jokes in the field. All that stuff that we continue to do, and he's kind of like, what am I going to do? So I love Matty Dozen, man. He's a great coach to play for, and I'm definitely looking forward to the season with him.
Okay, well, at this point, we're getting to the top 3.
Yeah, this is easy. This is going well. We
all got to take a nice little sip. Cheers.
Cheers to
the top 3. So I haven't seen many. I know, Donnie, we got people jumping on and off. Are you getting the notifications on anyone new to the chat you want to say hi to? Anyone new jumping in and off?
No. Go ahead on with your number 3.
Right, so we're going to move right into the top 3, Eric.
Yep.
The top 3 is somebody who made a special announcement yesterday in the SSA world. Notifying us that they're going to keep stats now, I guess, in tournaments. So his name is Mr. Gio. So tell us about Gio.
Gio is definitely another person that definitely was a big part of my softball career. I feel like I think he kind of just took me and just felt like maybe I was the staple to the team that he was going to try to put together. Maybe because he thought I was okay at what I was doing. He cares a lot. Definitely, I feel like he comes across to people differently than to me. There's things that he's definitely done that I can say I disagree with, but he's done nothing bad to me ever. Other than maybe waste my minutes on my phone every once in a while. Like I said, some stuff that happened last year, I thought it was not needed. And I've made that known to him. I support, myself. So if I see something, I say something. It's just kind of how I've always been. So with the Donnie thing, he knows that I feel like that was kind of like not the right way to go. But with what he's doing with SSA, I think he puts more time in than anybody even knows. And, you know, I can't say without saying that the announcement that he said, I knew about that for a while, just based on the relationship I have with a few people. And
yeah,
it was definitely brought up. It was definitely in the works way before anything may have been said on this show. I could say that. But regardless, I think everybody has the same idea of what they want softball and what direction they want softball to go to. And I think the platform's going to get set one way or another, whoever idea it was. And,
but here's the thing: the idea doesn't matter whose
it doesn't matter.
I mean? Like, I don't really give a shit who.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. It just, for sure. It's got to get said.
Yeah, like, you know what? You bring things up, and you never see changes. I'm just happy that they're doing something different, right?
Yeah,
we want to see changes. Like for some reason, they won't do it at a major national level, but they did it at the B level last year. They're doing it at the A level this year because of Eggs or because of Ray for his brother. They're ending a tournament on Saturday. I think it creates more of an event, and I think it's huge. Now we got to get them to do it at the major level for a tournament.
I think I don't think it's going to make the game better. And I'm a proponent of playing less softball and less days. There's no doubt about it. If we end up playing championship games at 10 and 11 o'clock at night, I just don't see it. I don't think it's worth it. I don't think that's the best softball you can get.
It'd be like 9 o'clock, but yeah, I mean, I
still don't think it's the best softball you're going to get. I just don't. I want to see the two best teams playing at 4 o'clock. If it's on a Sunday, then, and that's never the case. I do want to see them do it, run it out in a major national. I think that has to be done. You have to do it. And if it doesn't work and if it completely blows up, then you tried it. And whatever. I feel like I'm going to be playing in championships now all the time, and I don't want to be playing at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you play at 1 in the morning. I just think that when you play a championship game, you want to play in front of people watching. You played all weekend to get to that point.
Yes.
My whole point is that's not how you grow a game. You don't grow a game because Gio's got 50 people on a live stream watching them. Like, you grow a game because you make it an event. You make it exciting. You make it fun for those players to be there. And now all of a sudden your commitment level on these teams improved tremendously because people want to play in front of people. There's a reason why Papa Hops is so popular. I don't know if you've played in Papa Hops.
I have not.
They start games at 4 p.m. on a Friday.
No, my jerseys behind me are just like Papa Hops, dude. Those two teams that I play with in just one tournament.
Yep.
Maybe two of the best funnest tournaments I ever played.
Oh yeah,
they were with random guys. I had a blast, dude. Like, if you talking about changing the game, I would love to have just a tournament where kind of like they do in fall, where they draft, like in the summertime, where there's a draft, dude. Like I want to play with, I want to have a chance to play with these different people. Maybe it's just one tournament, but it'd be cool to have a tournament where you get drafted and you just get to play with different people once a year.
I agree. I think that'd be incredible. It'd be awesome, right? You get like 1,000 players or whatever it is in a pool.
Yeah, it'd be
however
great.
We have, and maybe just major guys, or you do it A and major.
Yeah,
I think it'd be awesome.
Yeah,
because you got a lot of good A players too. So
yeah, definitely.
Number 2, your boy Matt Martin.
Matty Martin, man, another dude that's just kind of just grown completely as like a brother to me, man. Love him to death too. He's a gamer, man. I think he's pretty well known in the softball world. But my friendship has grown with him, tremendously over the last 3-4 years. He's a good player, good friend, dude. Not a bad thing to say about him, and I got a lot of years left with him, so I'm excited to have him around me in the softball world.
Yeah, I got to play with Matt a couple times over the last couple years in the Hamlin tournament with Maddie, and I think we won a couple games and then lost to the team that won it, and then I think last year the same thing or whatever it was. But that being said, he's always, to me, seems like he's been a gamer. Would you agree to that? Like he's he's a gamer. He cares. He matters. He shows up to, seems like, everything. Would you agree?
He's getting to there where he shows up to everything. He was definitely in his 20s. He was kind of like me. Like we showed up at game time. He missed some stuff. He just didn't show up. He was like, but
right.
He's past all that. He like softball is his thing. He loves it. He enjoys it. He loves being out with the guys. So he's dedicated. You can count on him nowadays for sure. He's there for everything.
He's also turning into one of the top defensive left fielders in softball. Absolutely no doubt. I mean, someone that's as fast as him, that reads balls like that. I mean, you're a pitcher, right? You understand how good it is to have a left fielder that can get cuts and then go deep and get the big one. So Matt's definitely a guy that does that.
The only one he didn't get was Dave Bradford at Major Nationals last year and cost us. So
yeah,
I mean,
there you go. His only hang-up.
Tough loss.
Yeah.
So this one blows my mind. So number one, okay. On this Eric Mandarino top 10 list is a gentleman who you don't post much on Facebook. I know.
I do not, yeah.
When you did, though, recently, you had an individual that you were posting against, and an individual that I know very well, an individual I actually like. I actually like Pete a ton, Peter Droya. So the biggest thing with Pete, he's very opinionated. I love that, right?
No doubt about it. I love that too.
You know, and I think you guys were battling a little bit, but tell me a little bit about Pete.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know Pete outside of the Facebook world. I know who he is. I know he's played the game. I know he's come up through Players Inc. Dude, I mean, I saw like 4 or 5 posts in a row that were just so ridiculous. So I made a comment on it. And the one thing I can do is like, yeah, you're gonna say something to me. I got thick skin. I feel like anybody says something to him, he's not okay with it, you know. So he has no problem throwing, and then you know, somebody says something and you don't like it, and that's fine. Don't like it, but you don't got to keep on going. You know, I think he said something about I was a 3rd grader because I didn't tell him who my friend was, but he was the same guy that I think said that all the A and B teams were crying already about not making Forest Park, if I'm not mistaken. He didn't comment on a team name because he didn't want to throw a team name out there, but he definitely just put everybody in there.
Yeah.
If you got, I mean, I would love to know who those A and B teams were that are already crying, to be honest with you. I mean, post it.
Yeah. So, I mean, so just so everyone in the audience knows, I know we have about over 50 people watching right now live. So just so everyone knows what we're talking about, Forest Park had a meeting this year. Okay. They presented an idea, which wasn't even close to what Donnie and I were talking about on the show, but a lot of people referred to us to that idea. That wasn't really our idea. Their idea was to go to a 1-on-1 count with 22 teams, which
I never heard
wasn't
that.
our idea. Our idea, Donnie and I's, was really about making Thursday night single elimination in Forest Park so you can end the tournament on Saturday under the lights when they have the most people in the park. Okay. The reason being is because Forest Park last year lost money, and their crowds on Sunday are starting to get less and less and less over time. So they had that idea on their own before I even brought this up and before I even was even informed what they were going to do. I know that idea that they presented at the meeting, I think I didn't really like that idea as much as with the 22 and the 1-on-1s. I think they could still do it and end it on Saturday, but for those audience out there that's listening, that's what Eric is commenting on now. And then Pete made some comments because the A and the B teams were complaining because if they go from 24 to 22, it does shorten the field, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, dude, I don't know Pete. I'm sure I would love the dude at a bar. Like, honestly, we'd probably have a lot of arguments, but
you guys would have some pretty good conversation.
Like I said, this is just like me and High Y, dude. I mean, I think I scream at every one of their players, but like I want to JP, like all those guys, dude. Like he don't like me, I don't think, but I would love to drink with him after the game, you know. So
I think you and Pete would get along perfectly fine. I don't think
this goes back to softball and people not the negativity. Like, dude, I have nothing against them. I made a comment, like, I didn't like it. Like, I think there's a lot of negativity towards SSA, so I made a comment, like, dude, that's it. Right. I made my comment, like, I don't know. Like I said, it doesn't bother me. Like I don't get offended. I think everybody knows I don't get offended by much. So
no, 100%.
You know,
but
if you don't like me, great. Like I don't care. But I'm not looking to pick a fight with anybody. I make a comment. But that's my stance with Pete. I don't know him at all. So I just made one comment.
I 100% agree with you. I mean, everyone has an opinion. So
yeah,
Chris,
should.
Kevin Duff is saying top 3 pitcher and teammate in softball. Thank you, Kevin, for that. I appreciate that.
You mean thank you, Kevin.
Oh, 1-2. Oh,
Thanks, Kevin.
are we the top 3, you think?
I think he's what he's
Is that what
talking.
he was thinking?
No.
Well, who knows
Talking
what he's
about
talking about, but either way, he probably means me, but that's not a big deal. I don't know. No, he means you, Eric. So he's saying top 3 pitcher and team in softball. So that being said, I just think that to your point, Eric, on the comments and things like that with Pete, it'd be, when you guys are out there this year, I'm sure you guys will talk. Everything will be fine. Oh, it's just softball stuff.
For sure.
That's why I love it. You know what I mean?
I hope so. I hope it's like I said. I hope we're out there, and I want everybody in 16 to get along. Dude. I mean, competitive on the field and have. I mean, this is like a family, right? I mean, that's what it's supposed to be. I mean, not many people are 16 in softball, so it's just this is it. I mean, we're the core. So I mean, if you want to grow the game, the core's got to stay together to grow the game. Not pull each other apart. So.
Correct. Keep it together, right? We want this community to stay together. Like you said, we're the core. So. That was fun, right? That was a couple good names, a couple ones that you probably didn't see.
I can't wait till next week. I can't wait till next week. The first guy that gets back-to-backers, dude. No, it was great. Honestly, I didn't think I was gonna be able to do it how I was feeling this morning, but top 3. I don't know. You know what? I don't know Hector from Goodwood at all. I know Mikey, their shortstop, who's a stud that I've tried to get for like 3 years.
He's good,
but I don't know Hector at all, and he's 114 votes, best pitcher in softball.
That's a lot. That's a
lot of
votes,
family.
Man.
That's definitely a lot of family.
Who's Hector?
He had a lot of
Hector.
Hector is from Goodwood. He's the pitcher from Goodwood.
Did he pitch? He was the kid that pitched on the Demons last year.
Okay. Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
I don't know. I didn't see the voting or what you guys talking about, big ball or whatever.
Donnie, he didn't see the voting.
No,
he saw the voting. Nobody sees the voting when you're in 12th. You only see when you're in the top 5.
I had no idea it was out there. Maddie Dozen actually sent me to me and Izzy in a text message. That's how I found out about it. And Izzy called me. He's like, "What is this?" I'm like, "I have no idea. I haven't looked at it yet." I clicked on. I'm like, "Oh, that's the big ball thing they're doing or whatever."
Yeah, they do. They do different positions across the board. Hector for pitchers.
I was laughing.
No, it's
Hector for pitchers got tons of votes.
That's all I say is that that'll be a bulletin board material when I hit like 600-700 this season for Hex, and people can't get me out. Then I'll ask, who? Hey, wait a minute, who's the best hitting pitcher in softball?
Thank God, SSA is going to have the new summer series, so you'll get more of that information.
Thank God we'll be able to refer to the stats, right, Eric?
That's it.
Eric, this is the part of the show where we let you talk about the jerseys that you brought with you.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of did.
You got a couple things behind you.
I got one Dirty 38s. I got to play with these guys. The first time I played the 38s was in the playing game at Forest Park in the championship. That was fun. We actually came back and won that. That was probably the funnest time I had playing softball was with my good program guys, obviously, and felt like we got shafted big time. So it was nice to win those 2 games and then actually go on and actually beat Meatball City in our first game of the actual tournament. That's just a nice feeling. And then we just got I think I pitched 1 out against Smackout. I think they put up maybe 13, and our tournament was over quickly after that. But I love Alan Lozinski, dude. He's done a great job. That's another group of that's one of the remaining teams that have really tried to stick together. That's why I'm really curious what Julian Russell is doing this year, but they got a lot of young talent. They got some new kids coming in. I hope they all stood together. I know Alan was pretty disappointed when good program kind of split up, and we did it for the reason that he kind of struggles with too sometimes with tournaments and things like that.
Right.
But obviously I got to play with Trey and Julian and those guys and Chucky, and getting to play with guys like that kind of goes back to, getting drafted and playing with different people. Like I have so much fun playing with new guys and meeting new people. So was that's like Lemons for me too. Like I knew nobody when I walked out to Lemons except for Trey. He told me Chippy was going to be out there. Next thing you know, dude, I was the only white guy on the team.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it was fun. We made it all the way to play Dirty 38s, and I met some cool people. I know Lemons are on the outs, maybe.
Yeah.
Or maybe Frankie Frisco, if he's listening, is gonna have a team party and bring the squad back together again. which would be pretty cool. I definitely be willing to play with these guys any day of the week too. So I think I'm the third string on that team because you got CJ number 1 and then Mickey's number 2. So I would probably just be getting the guys drinks on that team, but
it's hard to break that
it's tough. But I'm that's the kind of team player I am. I'd be willing to just drink and cheer on CJ and Mick, and if they need me to pitch run, I do it for them.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Pitch running. I mean, some of us just got to know our roles.
Yeah, that will never be my role. I don't even want to run when I'm on base. So I'll just stay out for sure. So but those are my 2 jerseys. I've played on a few teams, but those are two fun teams I played with outside of my core. So definitely want to rep those guys today.
Yeah, no, that
I like that.
I think you were talking the Terry Moran tournament, right? You just played with those guys. So.
I played with Lemons, this year. Last year, the team at Terry Moran,
Yeah, so I don't know that was the first time I seen you with Lemons. I mean, those guys are mostly smack out guys for the most part.
Yeah, Marcos there, Rojas and Chapo. Like it was good. I mean, Joe Weld, dude, talk about a good first baseman. That dude, defensively, man. I don't know. I don't know if anybody's better than him defensively. I really don't.
Joe's very good, and he's a huge pick.
That was really good.
Yeah.
So,
I agree.
That's awesome. Any questions, Donnie? Before I ask him our last question.
That's it now.
So, Eric, we touched a little bit about this earlier. We told you we always ask this question and our interview before we hand it over to you for questions for us. So, if there was one thing in softball that you'd want to change to make the game better today for either the players, the associations, whatever comes to mind, what would that be?
I think I really did touch on it. Like I would like to see. I think a lot of people have said like those are the funnest tournaments. Like having fun to me is the best. I mean, it's fun to play with your own team, but I think it's funner to play in those one day tournaments. I mean, it's a blast. People hang out, like you said. I mean, that's where everybody kind of gets along. They play. There's not as much, animosity towards each other, and they kind of, whether they're playing for a charity or they're playing for, some sort of fundraiser charity event. It's just, I would lean towards playing more of those. Honestly, I would. I mean, so that's it. I think I would play more. I would want to play in more of those kind of tournaments.
Did you ever? You mentioned draft. Did you ever play in the Bud Lauren? They used to do a.
I did not ever play in that, but I did see it. I think the only one I've ever seen that does a draft now is the one in like fall ball or like October,
Turkey. Yeah, Thanksgiving at Harrison Park, they do it.
I mean, that's just fun, man. I see guys chatting and talking like, "Who do you got?" Like, I mean, that's cool. That's cool, dude.
It's awesome.
Getting a call from a coach saying, "Hey, you're playing with me. You're playing with Iggy, like whatever, dude." But if the major players were just thrown into a, you just randomly drew a coach, and dude, that'd be sick. You'd get people watching, and it'd be a fun tournament, no doubt.
Yeah.
Basically, Donnie, we could bring out our wheel and put.
Yeah, there you go.
We'll sign up for a wheel. We hit the button, and you know what I mean. Like that's the team. Like the first 10 guys, you guys are on one team. The next 10, you're on the next team.
Yeah, that's cool. That
would be a cool idea. You mentioned that, Eric. I love that idea, actually.
Yeah, that is a really cool idea. We'd have to put all the all major guys that are available into one hat, right? And just have a really nice draft tournament. I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah, I'm in. I'll make sure my wife lets me play in 6 that year.
Yeah. We don't want to get you in trouble at home.
Yeah, I could do 6.
You'll be okay.
Yeah, but that's what I would do.
She'll be okay. She'll let you do 6.
Yeah, she'll let me do 6.
All right. So, Eric, this is the part of the show where we hand it over to you, our guest. We have you ask questions for both, myself and Donnie. So, if you have anything, shoot away, my man.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, how long are you guys going to do this for? What's your plan? When the season starts, is this over, or are you guys going to work it? I know you guys kind of did it through the end of last year. I know it's a lot of work. I know it's a lot of time for you guys. Just like I said, I think you guys, this is a lot of time, and nobody understands what it takes to really grow the game and do things. So, I mean, do you guys continue to see yourself doing this once a week for 2 hours a night while playing softball?
Donnie, I'll hand that over to you to start, and then I'll tell you.
It'll definitely be tough to do during the season because, Jimmy and I play in different teams and we both play in a couple park leagues and things like that. But I don't see a world where we don't do this, and check in with everybody. And I kind of want to do like a recap show from games that go on during the week for everybody to kind of stay tuned in with softball.
That'd be cool.
That would be a great idea. I mean, just being able to check in at the end, on a Sunday night. What happened this week in Forest Park and Melrose? What went on in this tournament? We can always check in and maybe get like an MVP from a tournament on. We've done that a little bit in the past too. So, I mean, Jimmy and I have been pretty dedicated to it so far, but that's because nothing else is going on, right? But I think we continue this for. I don't see a time frame of it stopping. I just want it to grow more.
Yeah. So. I'm going to just kind of piggyback a little bit what Donnie was saying. Our show in the summer is going to move to Sunday nights. Okay. Obviously Sunday nights, most of our tournaments are hopefully done by 6, 7 o'clock.
Well, maybe not even having a game because we're going to play on Saturday nights.
Saturday, right. It'd be even better.
Saturday at 1 a.m.
Sunday nights, 9 o'clock, 9:30 start is pretty much what we would do, in the summer. But to Donnie's point, we want to do, like, when we're at the fields, we want to do in-game interviews. We want to do, just different things. Donnie's going to do some live streams when he can be out there. I'm going to be on the mic. I might be at the field. He might be at home. Like what we did in Arizona. I don't know. We just tested it. We did it in-game last year where we mic'd up Donnie on the field. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, it was awesome.
There's some equipment and some things that we're going to need to buy to make it more productive, which we will. We've got some sponsors that are Kevin Duff being one of them. He's already said, "Hey, Jimmy, let me know. Signature would be happy to, awesome. Donate money and make, really awesome. Make the game better." Excel Entertainment's already reached out to us on the video gaming slot machines. Awesome I have a great relationship over there with those guys. Donnie's, he's had some talks with some of those individuals as well too. It just was kind of a small world that they just happen to be very close to me.
Honestly, that's great. I want you guys. I want to keep the show. I mean, I watch it.
We plan on doing this. This ain't stopping. We plan on going as much as we can, and we want to bring more new ideas. And that's why we like people, commenting on everything, because we take into consideration what we feel we can do, and then we kind of table the stuff maybe that we can't do right now just because we're not capable of doing some of those things. But it's never off the radar, and I think that's something that as we grow and get more people involved, I mean, you better believe we're going to be doing interviews with Rismondo when they're at major nationals. That's gonna be great. We're going to the Hall of Fame. About that.
I really am. That was cool news. I think.
Yeah, we're going to go to the Hall of Fame next year. We're going to have a booth at the Hall of Fame. Like I've already talked to Paul Rowan. Donnie and I are going to attend that night. We're going to do interviews live from the Hall of Fame. I just don't think it gets the national coverage that it should, right? People don't even understand what the Hall of Fame really is. And I don't care who runs it. If it's the SSA running it and Gio's the president and the next president, I don't care. We're going to be there to do that. You know what I mean? And to your point, like, I'm not all about this association, that association. The hell with that, right? I'm just about really taking all the players that I play with, and whether it be Slap and Tickle or Team Jag, whatever it is, I just want to have the best time we can and just really kind of promote everything we're doing. I mean, I was doing live interviews last year from the field after the games were over at 11 o'clock at 8. So
yeah, no, I remember.
We might still do those things. Whatever we feel is right, and I think that's the cool thing. But we're always going to have a set time on that Sunday night.
Cool. I think it's great. I think you guys should keep it going. I think you guys are doing a good job.
Great question.
People love it. Yeah.
Great question. Any more questions for us, sir?
Honestly, I think that's you guys maybe I could be on as like a guest host. You guys can never have a guest host. At some point, somebody's gonna miss. You're gonna need somebody.
Jimmy tried to replace me already one night when I wasn't available to do the show. He thought about getting somebody else. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could fill in. I could do it. If you need, I can ask. I'm very good at asking questions.
Yes, you are.
So
I just saw your skill level on that. So I'll take a note.
Yeah. I will definitely research and make sure I'm getting good questions. I'll call people's friends before things and ask them.
It's all journalism. That's all journalism.
I was just going to call Mike North so we could listen to him again.
Yeah.
That'd be a good idea too. That would be a good idea. But no, I don't have any other questions. This was fun, guys. Honestly, I appreciate it. The opportunity to kind of talk and talk freely, and hopefully, like I said, I'm thrilled you guys are doing what you guys are doing. I'm thrilled SSA does what they do. I'm hoping that this summer turns the corner, and what you guys are doing and what they're doing is going to make the game better. And it could be a big year for softball.
Hey, the more exposure we bring around it, the better it is for the SSA. That's what they have to understand.
Understood.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're out promoting the major national tournament because we want to make it a major national. We're trying to get psychopaths to come. Yeah. I was informed that For Show cannot make it this year, but they're going to plan on coming next year, which is an awesome thing. I'm going to Yuma in May, and you better believe I'm promoting major nationals. I want to get more teams to come play major nationals.
It'd be awesome.
So that's what we're about.
Go. Love it.
But
thank you, Eric.
Definitely appreciate your time tonight, Eric. Like you said, I know this is sometimes can go a little longer than expected, but at the same time, we always have a blast. We always have fun, and that's what this is about. So definitely thank you. I know Donnie, I know you're very appreciative of him. So
heck yeah, that's my guy. I appreciate Eric, and he knows that.
I built a nice relationship with Donnie, man. I love both of you guys, man. But yeah, you guys are good people, man. Good for the game, and appreciate what you guys are doing.
Well, Eric, yep, definitely appreciate it, my man, and thank you again. And we'll put you on the list for co-host.
Sweet.
All right, buddy.
All right, guys. I'll talk to you.
Thank you so much.
Later, guys.
All right. Mr. Eric Mandarino.
Fantastic guest. Fantastic guest. What a guy. I mean, he's actually been around softball a lot longer than people will know. He doesn't, he like you said, he's bounced around a couple of teams. Yep. He's been around the game a lot longer than I realized, and played with some really good teams, and now he gets a chance to pitch in front of one of the best teams in softball.
Yeah, and to his point, they're ranked 4th in the rankings. So it'll be an awesome year.
Yeah. I agree.
The one thing that really stood out to me, though, about him, it was the fact that he's not afraid to really speak the truth.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he also backs all his guys. And I think
that's
awesome. That's leadership, and that is something that I think Moneyline's going to need this year when they merge and bring a bunch of new players in. So that's an awesome thing,
I agree.
So,
I mean, what a better guy to play defense behind than somebody that plays just as hard of defense from the pitcher position.
100%.
And I always admire that about Eric.
Absolutely. So my next thing I want to talk about, or we're going to end the show tonight on our terrific 3. And we all know what the terrific 3 was. I was 2-1 again last week.
Yep. So was I.
I tried it. I almost hit that over. I almost went 3-0. And they didn't score in the first, I think it was the first half. They just went blank on me. But they picked it up towards the end and almost went overtime. They missed the 3-pointer at the buzzer, which would have sent it overtime, and we would have hit the over. But that's okay. 2-1, still a winning week. We're 4.
Correct.
What am I? 4-2 on the year?
Yep. I was 2-1 last week. I called the NC State upset. I said it on the show. I said NC State money line. They were an 11. Kind of funny play on words with Eric just leaving the show. NC State money line. They were an 11 seed. They did upset, so you probably won some money on the Uncle Jimmy Cousin Donnie show. But for this week, I've got three pretty confident picks.
Perfect. Before we get to the picks, I just saw a couple comments. Randy Nelson says he's my guy. Lee Readers out there, it'd be great if you can. Obviously talking about what we were doing. Yep. And then my cousins out there, you guys are awesome. Someone someone who's not a part of 16 in softball, has no ideas, is watching the show. Keep up the great work, cuz. Also, Lee again saying I've been around the game on and off for 15 years before coming back a couple years ago. Another gentleman we're bringing back into the game. I think it's an incredible thing, and someone who watches our show. So thank you, Lee, for being definitely a follower of the show. What I am going to ask all of our viewers, and I should have brought it up earlier, obviously our show is sponsored by the Beacon Tap, so get on the Beacon Tap Facebook page, like their page, and I also ask everyone who watches our show to go on our page, click on the little 3 dots, and basically invite all their friends on Facebook to grow the game, okay, to grow
For
our
sure.
page. As we grow, you guys grow, and vice versa. So we're asking all the people that do follow us, please get on Facebook, Uncle Jimmy Cousin Donnie page, hit the three little dots, and invite all their friends to actually follow our page. They'll get an invite, they can accept it, and then we grow followers. So, but let's get into our terrific three. I'm going to start it out, then I'll hand it out to you. So my first pick this week, I'm going to start off with a Thursday night game. It's Arizona -6.5. Arizona covered both their first two games. If you got their second game at their first game at -19.5, you covered. Some people maybe had a push, but I'm going to go with two covers. They're 22-12 against the spread this year, and they've also looked absolutely incredible in this tournament.
Yes,
there's no doubt they win. I'm taking Arizona's -6.5.
So they can beat the red-hot Clemson Tigers, is what you're saying?
Yes.
Clemson beat the brakes off Baylor on Sunday. They looked like a really good team. But yeah, you said it. Arizona's looked really good. My first one is Gonzaga plays Purdue on Friday night. Gonzaga is preseason #1. They're well coached. I think their team is playing good. I don't know if they'll win the game, but I think they cover 5.5 against Purdue. Purdue's a damn good team. Edey's obviously a stud. If anybody can slow them down, it's Mark Few in Gonzaga. I think that team, if Purdue doesn't shoot the ball well, they may not even win the game. I don't know. It's going to be tough. I think Gonzaga covers. They're getting 5.5 points.
I like the play. I do.
Thanks.
My second play, I'm going to make a lot of people happy because I know a lot of people that on Hex have went to Alabama, some people on Flash.
Okay.
Alabama, depending on where you're betting the game, you're getting it at 3.5 or 4 points. I bet it at 4. Okay, so I got Alabama +4. But I believe I watched them play earlier in the year. I watched them play now. I think they're playing absolutely their best basketball. Okay. Yep. I feel North Carolina, even though they've won pretty handily, I feel they're not playing their best basketball. I watched them play against North Carolina State in the ACC tournament. They did not look impressive to me. I'm not saying North Carolina is going to lose, but I think Alabama covers the 4. I think they maybe lose by 2. It's a last-second buzzer beater type situation. And I also think that North Carolina, with this low line, is going to be a huge public play. I like going the other way. I'm going to take Alabama +4.
I like that. I like that you're taking the public into consideration. That's a seasoned gambler right there. I can tell you are a savvy veteran on the books. UNC, I agree. Alabama just plays zero defense and just tries to outscore everybody. My second pick, I like Marquette -6.5 against NC State. NC State's played like 10 games in 2 weeks. They got by Oakland in the previous round and beat them by 3 points. I think Marquette covers -6.5. Marquette did lose on the hook because of a half-court 3 last weekend. So they won the game. They didn't cover because of a half-court 3 at the buzzer. So they're right there to cover against these teams. I think Marquette does pretty good against the spread this week at -6.5.
I like it. I like Marquette. Local team, Midwest team. I always tend to root for the Midwest teams, so I like that play.
Okay, what's your last one?
My last play, I think, is a team that obviously if they don't win the ACC tournament, it's a team you bet last week. I looked at the game. NC State was in a roll in the ACC tournament. They've been on a roll that went to overtime. I saw this line at 6.5, and I couldn't believe it. I just don't. They've covered their last 6 games, okay, as dogs, right? So I mean, I'm taking NC State plus the 6.5. I think they're the hottest.
You're going against my pick. All right, that's fair. I'm not going to argue with you.
Sorry,
you're going against it. That's fine. I'm not mad at you. Yeah. Everyone, I will. It's good.
Even though I like your pick because I like your reasonings.
Thank you.
I like NC State. I'm going to go the other way. I think I think they win the game. I don't think NC State wins the game, but I think they cover the 6.5.
I like it.
I just think that the big guy inside, I can't think of his name. He's a monster, and he's got incredible footwork.
He is the big lefty. Yeah. I can't believe he plays as many minutes as he does. He plays tons of minutes for that NC State team.
So just so you know, one of us just handed out a winner.
Yeah, that's true. One of us is going to make somebody money. My last pick, and it's unfortunate, but we cannot bet on this game in Illinois because it's Illinois and it's Iowa State.
Yes, you can. You can bet
Illinois 3 seed. There you go. If you're a degenerate and you have multiple gambling sites that you use, you can bet Illinois money line. Well, I try to keep it to a reasonable amount, but yeah, sure. Let's throw a little bit on. Yeah, that's what I'm on. I like Illinois State money line over Iowa State, and the reason is because of Terrence Shannon Jr. for U of I. That kid is a stud. I mean, lottery pick, playing good ball. They shot like 68% from the field in the first half of their game, and they blew that Duquesne team out of the water. So I like U of I money line over Iowa State.
And Illinois can score some points.
They score.
They can score.
Iowa State's well coached. I like their coaching staff. I like their team. They covered in their game. They looked really nice. But I think U of I is playing good ball right now.
All right. So I got Arizona minus 6.5. I got Bama plus 3.5 or 4, depending on where you're at. I got it in at 4 already. And then I got NC State plus the 6.5.
Got it.
You got
Gonzaga plus 5.5 against Purdue. Marquette minus 6.5 against NC State. And then U of I money line over Iowa State.
Perfect. So you're going what? I think the line in the game is only 1.5, right? With Iowa State.
I think it's low. 2.5. It might have been 2.5 right now.
Okay. But it's low. So Michael Marasovic just said that Illinois is 22-4 for the over in the last 26 games. That's a great stat. I like that. Write that one down for Moji. Moji picks the over in the Illinois game. Whatever the over is.
You got it, Moji. Moji's magic right there in the chat.
Yeah. What is the over in the Illinois game? I'm going to have to look it up right now. I think they play on Thursday night too, don't they? They do. It's 145.5.
Wow, you looked that up fast. Yeah, 145.5. There you go, Moj.
So good. Moji is in for a play on the Uncle Jimmy and Cousin Donnie show at 145.5.
Moji special, 145.5. Got it.
Well, Jim. Hey, episode number 40. I think it was very, very well done. Success.
Yep.
We had a lot of good questions, a lot of audience involvement, a lot of fun on the show. I think we dropped an absolute bomb tonight with the exposure for our game.
I agree.
I will work that out with the SSA to hopefully get the information out to Mr. Brett Helmer as soon as I can. I know I've got a call in, so the bomb we dropped, just so you guys know, if you're just joining now, that Rosmondo is 100% in for major nationals. They will be there Labor Day weekend to play against us. I think that is, just so you guys know, that is the best 12-inch team in softball. They've won the major nationals.
Ever.
So I think it is going to be an absolute, yes, Moji, catch that ticket is actually in play, 100%. So thank you for that. Hopefully the Cash That Ticket's going to have their own OTB, Don, coming very soon.
That's cool.
So we will see.
I got to get on there.
I'm keeping my fingers crossed for good news.
Good.
So,
well, Jim, it's always a pleasure, man. Episode 40. We thank you very much for all the work that you do on this show, and we appreciate everybody for tuning in, and it's always a blast hanging out with you.
Yep. Hey, man, thank you so much, Donnie. And as I said, till next week, my man.
You got it. See you tomorrow.
Thank you.
I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Bye.